Hi everyone, my name is Dahlia. Welcome back to another video on my channel, Novel Idea. I want to do a bit of a reading update and also talk about some of my non-bookish favorites, mostly because I have been reading, but I've also been enjoying a lot of movies and TV shows recently, and I thought it'd be fun to switch it up a little bit and talk about some of those things too, in case anyone else is interested in checking out some of those other items that I have to mention. So a quick reading update. I'm currently reading Housekeeping by Marilyn Robinson, and I am not going to lie, it's boring. It's a little bit boring. So it's taking me a while to get through that one. The writing is still beautiful, like she's a beautiful writer, but compared to Gilead, this one does not compare for me because I really enjoyed Gilead. So I'm still enjoying this book, but it's just not what Gilead is. And it's a little bit like of a slower pace novel. There really is not much plot to speak of in the book. It's fairly plotless. And it's just like a very quiet, but like there is a tension and a suspense that exists in the novel that I'm there for. But I don't know, like I'm not like, it's like I can put it down. I can definitely put it down. So there's that. Then the other thing I'm currently reading is the collected stories by John Cheever, which I am absolutely loving. Like every single short story in this collection so far has been a pleasure to read, and he describes, like, his description of people is so incisive. They're quiet stories, but they also are definitely very thoughtful and contemplative type of stories. Not each of them has like a totally developed plot, but the characters are pretty well rounded, and they each, I don't know, each of the stories grabs you in, and so I'm really enjoying it like a lot. If you haven't heard of the collected stories by John Cheever, it's a pretty big volume. It's something to check out. Besides books that I've been enjoying, I've been watching quite a lot of movies recently, partly because it's the Oscar season, and I don't know if anyone keeps up with that, but I kind of do, like, vaguely, not in a like serious diligent way, but I check out the nominations. I'll watch a couple that spark my interest, and sometimes I watch all of the nominations. But this year so far, there have been some movies that have truly blown me away. One that I want to mention is called The Sound of Metal. This is starring Riz Ahmed. It follows him as he is a drummer in a heavy metal band with his girlfriend, and they live this sort of like off-the-grid lifestyle. They're in an RV of some sort and traveling around the States and performing. Early in the movie, this is not a spoiler, but he starts to lose his hearing, and he is a drummer for like a heavy metal band. So he starts to lose his hearing. Shortly thereafter, it's completely gone. Like his hearing is completely gone. There's a moment in the movie where we're following him and we hear what he's hearing, which is essentially like static. The way that they do this is it's so well done, because you're wondering yourself as like the viewer, when is it going to stop with the static and go back to sound? Because you're kind of thinking like, oh shit, is it going to be like this for the rest of the movie? But then it cuts to, and you can hear people speaking, but like it really prolongs that moment as if you are the protagonist or Riz Ahmed's character, who is going deaf, and you're really held in that moment and feel that feeling of what that feels like, you know? He loses his hearing, he goes to stay at like a deaf community, and they invite him in. Through that, you can like really see how beautiful this community is, this deaf community where they all work together. They kind of have embraced the lifestyle of being deaf and identifying as a deaf person. They really show that quite well, that there is this really like robust and healthy community in the deaf community, and they really value sort of what being deaf means, because obviously a lot of your other senses are heightened, and it's a certain way of living that the hearing don't have access to. But like hearing impaired, you know, there are beautiful scenes in the movie where he can hear the vibrations of sound through like objects, and you kind of really get a sense of what that is like. Riz Ahmed is an actor to look out for. I have not seen him in anything else besides The Sound of Metal, but then I looked at his IMDb and he's in the show called The Night Of, which I then subsequently checked out, which is an HBO show from 2016 starring John Turturro. Turns out that show was also amazing, and Riz Ahmed is amazing in it, and I also recommend The Night Of. So if you haven't seen that, it's a great show. Riz Ahmed has this ability of like really putting you in his shoes. I don't know how to describe his acting. He's a very believable actor, and I believe him when he's portraying a certain character or certain story. That's what you're doing when you're watching a movie, is you're buying into what is happening on the screen. So I think he's an actor to look out for. I would be happy if he won Best Actor for Sound of Metal. He is being nominated, so I think he would be a great candidate, but I haven't seen all of the other nominees. Sound of Metal, check it out. It is unlike a movie I've seen before. Speaking of good acting, Pieces of a Woman is out on Netflix starring Vanessa Kirby. So people have been talking about this movie on the internet. The first 30 minutes or so of the film depicts a woman going through labor, and it has been described thusly as the scene for good reason. A single long shot of this moment where this woman is going through labor, and Vanessa Kirby kills this fucking scene like I don't even know. It's so difficult to watch, and it's a very lengthy scene. You're really experiencing it from the beginning to the end. I'm not gonna say what happens, but it's an amazing scene, and Vanessa Kirby carries this movie like nobody's business. She's nominated for Best Actress. I would be happy for her to win that Best Actress Oscar because she is absolutely phenomenal. Shia LaBeouf is her partner in it. Personally, I feel like they have absolutely no chemistry, but that's because like Shia LaBeouf is Shia LaBeouf. Like, I find with him, he needs to be cast with a very specific person for the chemistry to work. I don't know if anyone has seen American Honey. That's an A24 film. It's a great movie, but in that movie, Shia LaBeouf is amazing, and him and his co-star have really great on-screen chemistry. In this movie, I did not think so, but Vanessa Kirby in this movie really, like I said, carries it. She really elevates the film. It's a great like story of the loss of a child and how that the after effects of that. Pieces of a Woman, it's on Netflix. I do recommend that movie as well. Another Oscar nominated movie that I checked out that I thought was beautiful is called Minari. This follows a young Korean family that moves from California to a farm in rural Arkansas, and the father or husband is played by Steven Yeun. Also, he's very good looking, if I might say so myself. It's a heartbreaking tale. It's a beautiful tale. It's funny. Like, I laughed out loud when the grandmother gets involved. She is amazing. I don't know her name, but she is an amazing actress. And the little boy in this movie is so freaking cute. Like, so cute. Movie that came out by A24. A24 is probably my favorite like entertainment company. They're an independent company that came out with Ex Machina. They came out with one of my favorite movies called Krisha. Probably one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen, but it's great. And I follow their movies pretty closely, so I really enjoyed this one, and I think this one has a good shot at winning the Best Picture. So if you haven't checked out Minari, I definitely recommend checking that one out. I also watched Nomadland with Frances McDormand. That one I would say is a pass. I checked out Promising Young Woman with Bo Burnham and Carey Mulligan, which I would also say is a pass. I'm a huge Bo Burnham fan, but I did not think that they had any chemistry in the movie, like, whatsoever, and the plot is a bit strange. The other movie I watched from the list is one of the foreign nominated movies. The only one I checked out was Another Round with Mads Mikkelsen that was directed by Thomas Vinterberg. This one was okay. It's a little bit weird, but you know, I'm a big Thomas Vinterberg fan in general, and previously he had done The Hunt a while ago with Mads Mikkelsen, and I absolutely love that movie. It's like a knockout picture and is one of my favorite movies. So I was very excited to see another round, and it didn't really live up to my expectations because I have such high expectations for Thomas Vinterberg and anything he does with Mads Mikkelsen. It's fine. It's entertainment. So, you know, if you want an entertaining film, it's good. I wouldn't be recommending it to anyone, really. Those are sort of some movies I've been checking out recently and think are worth watching if you haven't heard of them or haven't seen any of them. They're all really quite good. If you have any movie recommendations, or if you have book recommendations, or really anything, I'm like an art scarfer, toss them at me and I'll probably check it out. Thanks so much for watching. This is like a quick little video I wanted to post. Comment down below and let me know what you're checking out these days, what you recommend, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.